All right, all praises to the Most High Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors and salutations to the apostles and elders of GMS, Great Millstone, who taught me this truth. Planted that seed, and the seed grew. The Lord put the Spirit on me, called me out. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom to you, Akim and Akwat, that be listening to the videos. Brothers and sisters, I say shalom to you. This is your brother Kalak Har. Just coming back to touch up on the video I did yesterday with the Lord's people, and I just wanted to clear up a few things. Already got the scriptures lined up. Let's go to Amos. I believe it's the second verse. Salakia. Finishing up with the first video about who are the Lord's people and who the Israelites. Amos 3:2. You have I known of all the families of the earth, therefore I was punish you for all your iniquities. And that's going back to those curses. Those curses that's in Deuteronomy 15 all the way down to 68, and also various curses that's in the book of the prophets and whatnot throughout the Old Testament. The Lord is simply telling you Israelites that the only people I'm dealing with is you Israelites. That's why you get punished in the verse. If we was to go to Baruch 2 and 30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves. So we are in captivity right now, and this is a future prophecy, because in our old captivities we knew who we were, and we didn't have this problem. But we've been stripped and beaten, and this heritage has been taken away from us. That's why this in Baruch 2 and 30, I knew they would not hear me because it's a stiff-necked people. The Lord is saying you're stiff-necked, hard-headed, stiff-necked, wise to do evil type people. That won't return to the Lord. So that's why the Lord put these curses on us heavily. So you can be you can be identified, and B, you can turn from your ways and come back to the Lord. Because if you come back to the Lord, He's gonna give us everything. You turn back to the Lord. So like I said, like the verse say, for I knew they would not hear me because it's a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves. And that's happening right now. If we go to, I don't think I got it pinned up. Let's go to the BLB. I think it's Ezekiel 34, maybe, or 37. It might be 37. But I know it's one in them. We can get this Ezekiel 34 and 11. For thus saith the Lord, the Most High, behold, I, even I, will both search out my sheep and seek them out. That goes into, if you love me, feed my sheep. I'm only here for the lost sheep of the house of Israel, said by Yahweh Shah. I only sent for that lost sheep of the house of Israel. So this verse is saying, even I both search my sheep and seek them out. As a shepherd seeketh out the flock, verse 12, seeketh out the flock in the day that he is among his sheep that are scattered. Remember back in Deuteronomy 28:64, the scattering. So I will seek out my sheep and will deliver them out of the places where they have been scattered in a cloudy and dark day. That day of the Lord. It's going to be, the sun is going to be darkened. Everything is going to be turned upside down. Jacob's trouble is said in Daniel 12 and 12, chapter 12. And it's talking about the deliverance of the elect, the hopeful elect that's going to be beamed up in those chariots, when the Lord comes back, when he brings World War III and those spaceships, as ignorant called IFOs or UFOs, and with the people today, the wicked elite, the top elite knows what they are. But as it is explained in Ezekiel 1 about the chariots coming back and saving them, we've been changed in the twinkling of an eye. That's in Corinthians, you know. And I will bring them out from the people and gather them from the country and bring them to their own land and feed them upon my mountains of Israel by the rivers and the inhabitants and all of the inhabited places of the country. That's the Lord restoring. But what I really wanted to get was the dry bones. Who's those dry bones talking about? It's talking about you Israelites coming back to the word. We can start at 11. The vision explained, Ezekiel 37:11. Then he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say our bones are dried, and our hope is lost. We are cut off from our parts. Therefore prophesy and say to them, Thus saith the Lord, the Most High, your power. Behold, my people, I will open up your graves and cause you to come out of your graves and bring you into the land of Israel. And verse 13, and ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, when I have opened your graves, O my people, and brought you up from your graves. I mean, that's bringing us up from a dead state, that congregation of the dead. We've been restored in our spirit. Our spirit has been restored. We know who we are. We know what the kingdom is coming. We know the Lord is coming back to render his vision, or to take out Esau, the so-called white man. He runs everything. He's behind everything. And we talk about the wicked elite. Now in America, you got a lot of, so-called white people that probably more than likely goes back to the Israelites. They just a confusion of face. And if we can get there real quick, but let's finish this up, because the point was in, I think, 15, 16. Because I had mentioned that Jacob with the 12 tribes and 12 sons, but Joseph, let's read it. Ezekiel 37:16. Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it. Just talking about the 12 tribes sign for Judah and for the children of Israel, and his companions. And then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph and the stick of Ephraim, because I believe Joseph had Ephraim and Manasseh. If I'm not correct, I gotta Salakia if I'm saying that wrong, but I'm pretty sure Joseph had Manasseh and Ephraim. And the stick of Ephraim and all the house of Israel and his companions, and join them in one another into one stick, and they shall become one in thy hand. And verse 18, and when the children of thy people speak unto this, saying, Wilt thou not show us thou meanest by this? And he said unto them, Thus saith the Lord, your power, Lord God. Behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim and the tribes of Israel, his fellows, and will put them with him, and even one stick of Judah, and make it one stick, and they shall be one in my hand. So again, that's going back to the 12 tribes sign, and all the tribes coming together. All the tribes are over here in the Americas. The majority, the bulk of the tribes are here in America. Now you do got I got it pinned up, Jeremiah 12:9. My heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds around are them about Salakia. The birds around about are against her. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field, come to devour. And it's talking about my heritage unto me as a speckled bird. you know. So that means that the Israelites are scattered. The Israelites gonna look like everybody, all the nations they were scattered to. You know, they're gonna look like Chinese people. They're gonna look like Africans. They're gonna look like Europeans. They're gonna look like, uh, they're gonna look like every nation they were driven. So you can't really. That's why I say my heritage is to me is like a speckled bird. So, like I was saying in the beginning of the first video, like that's the 12 tribe sign is a rough draft. Those curses fit these people to this day, but you got that speckled bird that's out there. That's that's in the four corners of the earth because, we can get it real quick. Let's go to James. And these scriptures you can't get around, man. People, the book is for everybody. Okay. James 1:1, a servant testing of your faith, top header. James, a servant of the Most High and the Lord and of the Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. Which to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. And James was a biological brother of Yahushua. So if he's saying, hey, to the 12 tribes which scattered abroad, he's only talking to the tribes. The book is not talking to everybody. Even if you go to Revelation 21, I think 12. And it had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and the gates 12 angels, and the name written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. So the kingdom of heaven is only for the Israelites. It just said it right here in Revelation 21:12. It had a great wall high, 12 gates, and the 12 gates, and the 12 at the gates 12 angels, and the names they're written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. You can't get around that. What else I had pinned up? I didn't want to make this super long, but we can go back to Baruch. I skipped over it. Baruch 4:6, you were sold to the nations not for your destruction, but because you moved the Most High to wrath. You were delivered to the enemies. And that's going back to the transatlantic slave trade. That's one of them. We've been throughout captivity, starting with the Egyptians all the way down to the Americans. Egyptians, Persian Medes, Greeks, the Salakia, Median Persian Empire, Babylon, ancient Babylon, Egypt, ancient Babylon, the Persian Medes, Medo-Persians, the Greeks, the Romans, now the Americans, so-called Americans, because the term America didn't come to the 1500s, and the term America comes from Amerigo Vespucci, which Amerigo means bitter, and that's the way that America is going out, bitter. So that's why you moved the Most High to wrath by breaking those laws, statutes, commandments. If we go to Maccabees, Slovakia. First Maccabees 1:41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote his whole kingdom that all people should be one. If you want to take it there, look what are they doing now? They're trying to get everybody on that one accord. that New World Order. I don't want to read it in this way. And King Antiochus wrote his kingdom that everybody should be one people, and everyone should leave his laws. Verse 42, so all the heathen agreed according to the commandments of the king. Yeah, so many of the Israelites consented to the religion and sacrificing to idols and profaned the Sabbath. For the king had sent letters by messengers into Jerusalem and the cities of Judah that they should follow the strange laws of the land and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and they should profane the Sabbath and festival days and pollute the sanctuary and the holy people. Remember, holy means separate. Set up altars and groves and chapels of idols and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts. 48. That they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all the manner of uncleanness and profanation. 49. To the end they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. And whosoever would not do according to the commandments of the king, he said, shall die. So this is why the Lord is pissed off, man, because we let these Edomites come and just do whatever they want to, and the Lord is not dealing with that. So I think I'm a little bit everywhere, but Galatians 3:28, there is neither Jew nor Greek, there is neither bond or free, there is neither male or female, for ye are all one in Hamashiach Yahushua. So neither Jew or Greek. Why is it saying Jew or Greek? Because back in the Maccabees, you had Israelites that were Hellenized. There was Hellenized Greeks, Hellenized Jews. So Greek nor Jews, because like we say, like in James 1, greetings to the scattering, to the 12 tribes that scattered abroad. All the letters that Paul wrote to these churches, Galatians and Colossians and Philippi and what else? Corinth and Romans and all of these letters that was written to these churches were to the Israelites that are among these people, calling themselves Greek, Jew, or Greek and Roman, and just everything from around the way, So that's why I say neither Jew or Greek. Edomite or Christian might say, "No, you see, God is talking to all of us. You say neither Jew or Greek." But remember, the Israelites were scattered. You can see that in Deuteronomy 28:64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from one end of the earth to the other. And thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor your fathers have known, wood and stone. That wood is going back to those crosses. Those wooden crosses. You're not supposed to be worshiping anything that's above or below or in the earth. Exodus 20:3. You're not supposed to be worshiping stuff like that. And even the stone, that goes to that Islam shit, because what brothers do when they go to jail? They convert to Islam. What's on these people's mind? And Islam is just Christianity. To be frank, it's just Christianity. Nothing to be hoop holl about. Let's get one more, and I'm gonna leave it off at that. Let's get a classic, and I'll leave it off. Matthew 5:13. Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost its flavor, wherewith shall it be salted? You hear that, Jake? You're the salt of the earth. What you do when you salt your food? You give that shit flavor. So if we salt in the earth, we giving the earth flavor. So when you look around, everybody want to be like the so-called black man, so-called Israelite man, I would say. The Israelites, they want to be like the Israelites because ye are the salt of the earth. Now it is thenceforth good for nothing but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of man. Verse 14, you are the light of the world. A city that is set on the hill cannot be hid. That light is this knowledge. This light of the world is this knowledge, not of the world, but the knowledge that's not dealing with the world. The light that's in us. To preach this word, to go out there on the highways and byways and stand up boldly in the face of your enemies. I believe there's a scripture on that. So with that said, I want to say Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Call Halalayim Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Rakakadash. I hope you got hope you was edified and you got some exhortation out of this. This is your brother Kalakar. I'll see you on the next vid.